Tonight,
they see what's happening. You know, there's a movement going on. People are tired of incompetent politicians.
despite attacks from the media, Donald Trump continues to surge in the polls. Then a shocking new undercover video shows a Planned Parenthood executive negotiating prices for fetal parts.
Right.
The creator of these videos will be here.
This is the most asinine act I've ever seen a police officer make.
And a Cincinnati cop is charged with murder after killing an unarmed man during a traffic stop. Our panel tonight reacts. And a new book claims that Bill Clinton is cheating on Hillary with a shapely blonde mistress. The author is here with all the details. Hannity starts right here, right now.
And welcome to Hannity tonight. Despite attacks from the liberal media, Donald Trump continues to surge in the polls. Two new polls show that Donald Trump has a sizable lead heading into the first GOP primary debate. He leads with 25% in the new Reuters poll, which is more than double Jeb Bush, who comes in second with 12%. Now, Trump also has an edge in the new Quinnipiac University poll with 20% compared to Governor Scott Walker's 13% and Jeb Bush's 10%. Joining us now, author of The Queen, the Epic Ambition of Hillary, and the Second Coming, and the Coming of a Second Clinton Era, nationally syndicated radio host Hugh Hewitt, and the Washington Times' Charles Hurt. Hugh, I know you've been a bit of a critic of Donald Trump. I would think, though, knowing you as much as I know you, that you understand where this is coming from, that he is speaking his mind. He's politically incorrect. He's bringing attention to issues in a way that Republicans have been far too weak and timid to deal with. I'm sure you get that aspect of it, right?
Oh, I do. And I was very critical of the comments about Senator McCain, Sean. But I will say this, and I think it's true about everyone in the race on both sides of the aisle, and of all the presidential candidates for the past many years, Donald Trump is the only one about whom it is likely there will be a Broadway musical made. And that's what he is. He is actually, I've never said that before, but it occurred to me on vacation. I've been on vacation for a couple of weeks. He's vastly entertaining. I got an email from him 2 days ago. I asked him to be on my show tonight when I'm back from vacation, and he sent me a fax note. Hugh, can't do it. I'll do it next week. I'm in England at Turnberry, parens, which I own, close parens, watching the ladies' British Open. And I thought, well, that's so Donald. And he's endlessly entertaining. And today he told the Washington Post focus group that Chris Cillizza reported on, said that the focus group told John Heilman of Bloomberg, he's most like us. Now, he's a billionaire. He's actually not like many of us at all.
But that's not what they're talking. They're not talking about the money. They're talking about outspoken. When you're with your friends, do you monitor your every word? Has it been prepared by some political advisors? You know, he's raw. He's real. It's genuine. It's authentic and refreshing in this day and age of politically pre-calculated sound bites. That's what they're saying. They're not talking about how much money he has.
I agree with that. I'm skeptical that it won't last. I don't think it'll last, but I'm skeptical.
But Hugh,
I think
you've hit on something that's very important about what is driving Donald Trump. It is his creativity. He is an enormously creative guy, and he's very good at marketing, and he thinks of new ways of marketing his campaign. And you know what? It works, and it's a breath of fresh air in politics because nobody else is doing it. I don't know if you saw the story out today where Donald Trump is going to take his private helicopter out to the Iowa State Fairground, and he's going to give free rides to any child seen wearing a "Make America Great Again" cap. Now, you know, you can say it's hooey, you can say it's goofy, but it's brilliant. And so these kids
Charles,
don't.
You watch. There's going to be some liberal group that sues, say he's trying to buy votes with helicopter rides.
Oh, I'm sure the government's going to step in and say that he's not allowed to do it. Yeah. But the point is that he gets it, and he's not ashamed of the fact that he's a billionaire. He's taking that and using it as an advantage. You know, and he knows what appeals to people.
Hugh, let me say this to you, because I thought Mary Matlin always been a sharp political advisor, consultant, somebody that observes media really well. She said that every Republican ought to learn from Donald Trump. And I agree with her. I want to see that level of energy. I want to see the scripts get thrown to the side a little bit. I want to see some genuine passion about getting the country back on the right track, helping out those millions of Americans out of the labor force in poverty and on food stamps. And we're going to take out ISIS, and this is how we're going to do it. That boldness needs to be there if the Republicans want to win.
not only should every Republican learn from him, every broadcaster should, because he's the blocking tackle of 2016, right? He's clearing out everything. Now, he makes mistakes. I think he made mistakes with the Mexican remark. He made a terrible mistake by talking about Senator McCain being a captive. He doesn't like people who gets captured. He's got to apologize for that. At the
He's
same
not going to
time,
apologize to you. That issue's dead.
But don't you
dead.
think that if he had it to do over again, he might have refined some of those statements?
Yes.
But to his credit, I happen to agree with you, Sean. To his credit, I think he just says, "Okay, I'm going to move on from this. I wish I'd said it differently, but I'm going to move on from it, and I'm not going to sit here and wring my hands and apologize and try to kowtow to people."
And you know who he's most like, guys? He's most like Teddy Roosevelt, another son of New York. And Teddy Roosevelt would occasionally say extraordinary things that got him into trouble, but he'd also back up when he did. And I hope he reads a couple of the Roosevelt biographies, because I'd love him to run for mayor of New York against de Blasio in a couple of years. Wouldn't you like that, Sean?
I think he'd be, if he followed through on his promises and was serious about governing, I think he could be a great leader, because I think he's inspiring a lot of people, and especially people that are tired, including me, of Republicans being weak. I'm so sick of it. All right, let me ask this. He dealt with two controversies this week. He dealt with the Daily Beast, the Ivana Trump. That was dead and buried within 12 hours. A tribute to him, tribute to his ex-wife and his family. And the second one was the New York Times going after him, which, bringing up a lawsuit that he won and even got lawyers' fees for, about a woman pulling out a breast pump in the middle of a deposition, and he said this is disgusting. Do you think, isn't this a lesson maybe for the other Republicans, as all of the garbage is piled on them by the media, Charles? Just blow it off.
Absolutely, and it's amazing how every scandal that Democrats skate through scandals all the time and they just move right on. Republicans get mired down in them, and they can't. It's like kelp. They can't get out from under it, and they spend weeks hand-wringing and apologizing and trying to be something different. But this guy just, like you say, he just keeps walking right on through it, walking through the smoke and the fire, and doesn't let any of it alter his focus on the vision that he is trying to convey, and he does a very good job of conveying it in those simple terms that people see and people understand his vision, and so they forgive him for
if that research this week didn't bring him down. I guarantee you, both the Daily Beast and the New York Times both thought they had him, Hugh. They thought this was over this week.
They did, but what he's got to do is start helping the Republican Party. He's got to go after Hillary now, Sean. If he's serious, Hillary's been now revealed to have had 4 different sources of classified information on her server. I'm looking for the Donald to bring the hammer that the Donald has down on Hillary. And I'm looking at Chris Wallace and Megyn Kelly next week. They'll ask hard questions. They'll be serious questions.
Brett Baer's going to be on the panel, too.
Oh, and Brett Baer. And they'll ask serious questions. I get to do it a couple of weeks later. At that point, Donald Trump is either going to be serious or not serious. And at this point, I'm skeptical that he'll go.
Speaking of Hillary, let's go back to the Quinnipiac poll out today. And again, this is like the 7th or 8th poll that has come out. Is she honest and trustworthy? 57% say no. And then the poll on how voters view Hillary Clinton, 51% unfavorable. If I'm a Democrat, I'm saying run Joe, crazy Uncle Joe, run, even though he likes to, apparently, we'll get into this later, according to Kessler's new book, swim naked in front of female Secret Service agents. But
her favorability is underwater nationally, and it is underwater, meaning her unfavorability outpaces her favorability in Iowa and in New Hampshire by double digits right now. This is like a 4-alarm fire for them, or it should be if they were paying attention.
But do they? All right, so Democrats are panicking. Does Elizabeth Warren get in? Does crazy Uncle Joe get in?
I think it's crazy Uncle Joe, of course.
Yeah.
No, it's John Kerry. Yeah, the dreadful candidate, Hillary, goes away, and John Kerry comes back, clutching the Iranian agreement and saying peace in our time. Watch for it.
I voted for the $87 billion before I voted against it. We're going to have to live through that nonsense again?
Yes, indeed.
I say it's Joe Biden. And I wouldn't be surprised if President Obama doesn't take out the shiv and put an end to the Clinton dynasty and get behind Joe Biden.
Crazy Uncle Joe, the skinny dipper, or Hillary Clinton?
Joe Biden is a patriot. He is proud of America. He loves America, and he loves people. I don't think you can say. I don't think those are the first things you'd say about Hillary Clinton.
What do you think, Hugh?
A driver who took me from my to the Victoria Airport in Canada on 2 days ago said that Joe Biden had been in Calgary. He had a 12-car motorcade just because they wanted to make sure he got back to our country. I think that Joe Biden has no viability whatsoever. John Kerry is the guy that you watch.
I disagree.
If Hillary folds.
Kerry's had a shot. I think the person to watch out for, two people I think they've aligned together privately. This is a total conspiracy on my part. I think Elizabeth Warren may get into this race with the support of Comrade Bill de Blasio.
Oh, what a doozy.
What a team that'll be.
What a snoozer.
Just what we need, another another law professor, this one from Harvard, Sean.
Yeah, all we need is another communist running for Obama on steroids. Here we go. We're in trouble. All right, guys, good to see you both. Coming up next tonight, right here on Hannity.
We're like, we don't want to get called on, selling Beetle parts across.
Neither do we.
You know what I mean? Like, no one wants to get
right. So how do we protect ourselves
from that?
A new, just released undercover video that shows Planned Parenthood executives were aware of what they were doing. Is it illegal? The creator of that video is next. And later, a bombshell claim from a new book. Bill Clinton apparently has a blonde mistress. The author will give us the details. Plus,